Fake Gundam. So if you're anything like me, you probably like saving money in Gunpla, but that can be a bit hard sometimes, especially if you're in Japan for a long period of time and realize, oh, I bought all this. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. Anyway, you might have seen fake or third-party Gunpla in your Gunpla searches and wondered, are they scams? Are these any good? Is it even real? Well, that's exactly what I wanted to find out in this video. So let's take a look at some fake Gunpla together and see if it's worth our time and money. So today we're going to be on Aliexpress, since I'm the most familiar with them. And I know there's other websites which you can choose from, but I personally like Aliexpress since I've used them before. And if you don't know, Aliexpress is basically a Chinese online marketplace where you can get a lot of cheap deals, just know they are usually lower quality. But in my opinion, half the stuff you buy on Amazon is basically the same stuff on Aliexpress. Take that as you will. Now, I'm already on one here, and you can see it's under $10 here for a GM basically. And yeah, we can look at the reviews real quick, see if things look legit. Some of these look a bit bottish, but there are photos which make me feel more comfortable, and everyone's saying it's pretty good. That looks pretty good. So yeah, I'd say this is pretty legit, but you can look at the box in the background and you can definitely tell it's not real, it's definitely fake. But as long as the model looks good is what I really care about. But yeah, and it does look really good. I don't think I'll go for this one. I did also want to look at this one. This one's really impressive, whoever did the photos and marketing for this one. Yeah, I think this would probably be a good choice, but I already do have this one actually already in my backlog, so I'm not actually going to buy it, but I would be interested. What I'm more interested in is this GM Spartan actually though, since I kind of want to make an army of them, and this is a real GM Spartan. You can see it's 26 bucks here, but with shipping that would be 36 bucks, so that really makes me cringe. And yeah, so that's kind of why I'm looking today, honestly, is to see if these fake GM Spartans are good. And you can see that they're only 10 bucks each. That's like so much less than P Bandai's 36 bucks versus 10 bucks. Oh my gosh. And I think there's some that are even 8 bucks for this guy. But yeah, so, and they even have different variants, which is really cool. Bandai didn't come out with anything like this, but it's like, wow, whoa, you don't have to paint it or anything, it just comes like that, kind of. That looks really cool. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try these three out today and just see how they look. We can take a quick look at the reviews here. Yep, that's definitely not the GM Spartan box, the original one at least. Yep, definitely looks fake, but yeah, that's the model, and I can't really see it that well, but it looks pretty good. So I'm semi-confident in this. I don't think it's gonna be a complete scam. Everyone's got relatively positive reviews, even if they're bots or whatever. I think this might be cool. So yeah, I'm gonna check these guys out. But yeah, I gotta wait for this to ship in the mail, but it's gonna be 2 seconds for you guys, so let's see it now. Alright, what up gamers? So this came in the mail a couple of days ago. This is the fake GM Spartan right here. I'm gonna just inspect the box here a little bit. So this does come from Aliexpress. You can see it's a little bit dented here and there, but honestly I don't really care for the box too much. I care about more the model kit. But if you are a guy that collects these boxes and stuff, you probably want to stay away from this fake stuff. But I'm gonna guess that's why you're not why you're here. So let's open this guy up. Compared to Bandai, I can already tell this plastic wrap, which doesn't matter, is cheaper quality, but just letting you guys know. Okay, in terms of the actual plastic here, yeah, now this feels pretty solid. I almost want to say better than Bandai's plastic, but I'm gonna guess that's not fully true. We'll probably see, but this feels pretty good, to be honest. So, yeah, I just did want to show you guys the visor here a little bit. I think there's not too much of a quality difference here, so yeah, I think this is still good. See there, that piece actually came off on me, so maybe it's not the strongest here. So we'll see if that keeps up and it's consistent. But I did want to check this guy out real quick. This seal was like basically not on there, but you can see these are the decals, and it looks like it's actually printed on diagonally. If you kind of can look up here, I gotta be honest, it actually looks pretty dang good. Maybe they won't look as good on the actual model, so we'll see. But you know, these are solid water slide decals, right? And then yeah, this booklet right here. Yeah, it seems like a pretty standard booklet. Honestly, feels very similar to Bandai's, almost exactly like Bandai's. So yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a problem here. I've built third-party kits before, and this is pretty much just like universal, like all these instructions. So yeah, scared of this piece just coming off on me. Not a huge deal though, so yeah, let's build this guy up and just see how it is. Okay, there's like 3 A's, and they don't differentiate them, which I guess isn't a big deal, but it's just a surprise to me. Alright, it's actually 5 A's. This is one of the other A's I need. There's 6 A's. Oh my gosh. Wait, this is an A too. Oh wait, there's like a bunch of options. They don't make it clear, man. It's pretty similar.
Left side's yellow display and this is the gold display.
Barely see a difference there.
I think that looks good. I'll let that dry.
I'm noticing that a lot of these are kind of undergated a little bit, which I'm not sure if it's very clear on the instructions, but if you're an experienced modeler, know to just cut those off. Alright, quick tip. If you want your visors to stand out more, you want to color behind the visor here, very bright silver. It'll make it pop a lot more. So this is the Gundam Extreme marker right here, silver. I got it from Hobby Link Japan, which I actually do have an affiliate link below if you guys did want to check this out. This is actually a really nice marker that I use all the time for just detailing parts. I'm basically just gonna paint the inside. So here we go. It's pretty easy. You can mess up a little bit. Yeah, you can see I'm getting a little bit all over the place, but in general, you kind of just want to be messy. It's on my finger. I actually went way too hard there, unfortunately, because I clicked or I pushed on the pen part, so that kind of releases the ink. But that's okay, because you can, if you panel line, you can get rid of this like how you get rid of panel lines.
Alright guys, so I got the Q-tip here. We're just gonna erase it off the best we can here. And it's gonna take a couple Q-tips actually to do this. But you can see that it's already coming off a little bit.
But I do kind of like the effect a little bit. Just gonna clean it up a little. My favorite part of any model kit, which honestly looks kind of cool besides my mess up a little bit, but that looks kind of cool too, so we'll see if I fully keep that. But yeah, that looks really good for a fake, I'd say. Alright guys, something I want to say. The instructions are a little bit weird sometimes, like it thinks these two are B1 and B2, but they both say B2 there. Besides that, this thing is really solid actually. Alright, so for the actual model kit itself, yeah, this is definitely really solid. It's almost as good, if not as good, as Bandai's product here, and like way cheaper. Honestly, it looks really cool and light in person. Alright, before I go too crazy with this, because I do think I want to detail them up quite a bit, I did just want to do a base comparison with the GM Spartan by Bandai and then the GM Spartan by whatever this is, I forget honestly, XFS or whatever. But just wanted to give you guys a quick comparison here. So yeah, you guys can see that this one has decals on it, this one does not at the moment, but for the most part, they are pretty much the same. There's no top coat on either of them, and I did do some detail paint on this one as well. Different, honestly, I think this one's shinier, which I don't like. The actual feel of their plastic is slightly different. I think this one is maybe slightly worse in terms of plastic quality. There is almost no difference, really, I can tell. This $10 version versus like, honestly, this like $40 version. Maybe I'm exaggerating there.
maybe it was more like 35. I really think this is more bang for your buck than this guy for sure. But I think with extra effort, with like Gundam markers and top coat and panel lines, this thing will look really, really good. So yeah, so far I really recommend this, but let's detail this guy up and just see what the final product looks like.
1. Reality-based. Immediate.
Also, just to let you guys know, there is no decal guide on this at all. Like, I have no idea where to place the decals, so you can guess what I'm doing here. I just have to look up an image, and yeah, so I'm just kind of following that to put on the decals. So you can also get creative with it, so it's a little fun with that.
Okay, so this is the finished product for our fake GM Spartans, and wow, could I not be happy with how these turned out. These look so cool, and I'm glad I put in some extra effort to make them look this cool. To quickly summarize what I did, I used Gundam markers to highlight some details and have some color separation in the kit, which totally makes them look so much better in my opinion. Then I did your standard panel lining, so it has more depth, and then I added the water slide decals and top coated with a matte finish. And you basically got this in the end. All this for basically $10 each, and I think I even saw some for $8 if you didn't want the box, which honestly I'd say is worth considering. Just know some parts might fall off the runner during shipping, but it'll stay inside the plastic wrap still. I actually did the no box option for the tan/desert op Spartan here, so you can judge for yourself if you think it's worth it. But yeah, let me go over the pros and cons of buying this fake here, which by the way, the brand I bought from was XFS if you're wondering. So it's XFS GM Spartan if you wanted this one specifically. So here are the pros. The biggest pro obviously is the price I paid, $10 for this, when the original would have costed me around $38 with shipping and tax, so nearly 1/4 the price, which is really good. So you can basically get 4 fakes instead of 1 real one. Another pro is the build quality and end result was nearly and maybe even better than the original. I also didn't have to wait for P-Bandai's shipping times, which is the original company, which is usually months or even up to half a year. And if you've ever ordered off P-Bandai, you know that things aren't even in stock half the time. But anyway, these fakes basically took me less than a month to ship to me. I also like the creative new variations they came up with the GM Spartan here. Like a lot of these you won't see in the original at all. This tan one, this blue one, you won't see these. Now we can move on to some of the cons of this fake. So probably the biggest con for me was the overall quality assurance. You probably saw throughout the entire video there was a lot of cut corners it seems, and quality was just not as high in a lot of regards, like the box being pretty beat up and cheap, the instructions not being the most clear on some things, to the decals being printed in this awkward angle, to the runners not really being labeled correctly exactly, like the 5A runners I had, and also just pieces just falling off the runner. Yeah, the quality for a lot of this kit was just not there compared to Bandai, but in a way I did expect this paying 25% of the original, so personally I didn't find it to be that big of a deal as long as the end result of the model looked good, which it did, so I'm really happy about that. But if you care about this kind of stuff, maybe avoid the fakes. Another con I'd say worth considering is it's not the most beginner friendly kit. There was a lot of times where my Gunpla knowledge came into play since the instructions didn't make things clear. Sometimes there were optional parts where the instructions never said there were any, and the overall labeling of runners can make things confusing, like having that B1 and B2 runners both be actually labeled B2, so you can't tell the difference. Also, a lot of parts were undergated and the instructions never mentioned to cut that extra plastic off, which you couldn't even put the pieces together sometimes if you didn't cut off the undergated parts, so I could see a beginner getting really frustrated at stuff like this. So honestly, I wouldn't recommend this as one of your first kits, but maybe if you have built a couple, I think you'd be fine, honestly. Another con may be that you might not be able to find every kit out there if you're looking for fakes. I might not recommend every fake out there either, but do your research, look at the reviews and photos, and if it seems worth it, you can make that judgment call.
I think besides that, everything else was good, and if you want my honest recommendation, especially for these GM Spartans here, I would 100% recommend these fakes over the real ones, but only if you're wanting to save money. The value feels insane, and the end product looks so good, but if you did want to play on the safe side and still save money, especially if you're bundling, you can get real kits and supplies like the Gundam markers I use in this video on Hobby Link Japan. Please use my link in the description to support me, and yeah, if you guys have any opinions on these fakes at all, if you built one yourself or thinking about getting one, let me know in the comments. I can offer advice or whatever. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, especially if you like this sort of content. I know I do. It's really fun just investigating these types of things. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Oh my god, dude. I was actually just like so in love with this thing that I totally forgot that I have to peel this guy off. Oh, I'm so dumb.